What we can learn from historical leaders who changed the world. What do Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, and Nelson Mandela have in common? They didn't just lead, they transformed the world. Their decisions shaped history, and their leadership lessons are more relevant today than ever before. Whether you're leading a team, working toward a personal goal, or simply looking for inspiration, the lessons from these historical giants can help you change your world too. Hi everyone, and welcome to Channel Name. Today, we're diving into the secrets of leadership from some of the most impactful figures in history, leaders who didn't just navigate their circumstances but reshaped the world through their vision, resilience, and courage. In this video, we'll uncover the leadership lessons of 5 iconic individuals: Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Cleopatra, Winston Churchill, and Nelson Mandela. Each of them faced extraordinary challenges, and their solutions can teach us how to lead with purpose, inspire change, and make a lasting impact in our own lives. So, if you're ready to learn from the strategies and principles of history's greatest leaders, stick around. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with your favorite historical leader, because your input helps guide the conversation. Gandhi's leadership and legacy. Let's start with Mahatma Gandhi, one of the most iconic leaders in history. Gandhi's approach to leadership was centered on non-violence and persistence. He believed that true change begins with inner strength and unwavering principles, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. At the heart of Gandhi's leadership was his philosophy of ahimsa, or non-violence. He believed that you could resist oppression and injustice without resorting to violence. This idea wasn't just a moral choice, it was a practical strategy. It allowed him to unite millions of people under a common cause, regardless of their background or beliefs. One of Gandhi's most powerful demonstrations of leadership was the Salt March in 1930. This peaceful protest against British colonial rule wasn't just about salt, it was about standing up to oppression in a way that was accessible to everyone. Gandhi walked 240 miles, inspiring thousands to join him on the journey and millions more to take a stand against injustice. What made Gandhi's leadership so extraordinary was his persistence. He didn't achieve independence for India overnight. It took decades of protests, negotiations, and sacrifices. But Gandhi never gave up, showing us that true leadership requires a long-term vision and unwavering commitment to your goals. Another key aspect of Gandhi's leadership was his ability to bring people together. India was a deeply divided country with diverse religions, languages, and cultures. Yet Gandhi managed to unite millions of people by focusing on shared values and a collective goal: freedom. He showed that great leaders don't focus on differences, they focus on what unites us. So, what can we learn from Gandhi today? First, leadership isn't about power or authority, it's about influence. Gandhi didn't hold an official position of power, but his ideas and actions inspired an entire nation. Second, persistence pays off. In a world where we expect instant results, Gandhi's journey reminds us that real change takes time, patience, and perseverance. Gandhi's principles can be applied to so many areas of our lives today. Whether you're leading a team at work, working on a community project, or even pursuing personal goals, his emphasis on non-violence, persistence, and unity can guide your journey. For example, think about how you can solve conflicts peacefully or bring people together for a shared purpose. Gandhi's influence didn't stop with India's independence. His philosophy of non-violence inspired global movements for civil rights and freedom. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela openly credited Gandhi's teachings as a major influence on their own leadership journeys. Gandhi's legacy reminds us that one person's principles can ripple out to change the world. In today's fast-paced, often divided world, Gandhi's leadership reminds us of the importance of patience, empathy, and peaceful resistance. His ability to inspire change without violence is a lesson we can all learn from, whether it's in our personal relationships, professional lives, or larger social movements. Gandhi taught us the power of persistence and non-violence, but leadership comes in many forms. Up next, we'll dive into the story of Abraham Lincoln, a leader who brought empathy and unity to a nation divided by civil war. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Abraham Lincoln, empathy and unity in times of division. Now let's turn to one of the most celebrated leaders in American history, Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln led the United States during one of its darkest periods, the Civil War. His leadership wasn't just about strategy or politics, it was rooted in empathy, understanding, and a deep desire to unite a divided nation. One of Lincoln's most remarkable traits was his empathy. He took the time to understand the struggles and perspectives of different groups, whether they were Northerners, Southerners, or enslaved people. This empathy allowed him to craft messages and policies that resonated with a wide range of people, even those who opposed him. Lincoln's empathy and vision were perhaps best captured in his famous Gettysburg Address. In just 272 words, he redefined the Civil War as a fight not just for the Union, but for the principles of liberty and equality. His ability to connect with the values and emotions of the American people turned this speech into one of the most powerful leadership moments in history. Another defining aspect of Lincoln's leadership was his focus on unity. Even in the face of a divided nation, he never gave up on the idea that the United States could come back together. His primary goal was not vengeance against the South, but reconciliation. This vision of unity guided his decisions and ultimately shaped the post-war Reconstruction. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation was one of the boldest and most transformative decisions of his presidency. By declaring the freedom of enslaved people in Confederate states, Lincoln made the Civil War about more than just preserving the Union, it became a fight for human rights. This decision not only shifted the course of the war but solidified Lincoln's legacy as a leader who stood for justice. Great leadership often comes with criticism, and Lincoln was no exception. Throughout his presidency, he faced backlash from both sides. Some thought he was moving too quickly, while others thought he wasn't going far enough. Yet, Lincoln managed to stay focused on his long-term vision, showing us that true leaders don't let criticism derail their mission. So, what can we learn from Abraham Lincoln? First, that empathy is a powerful leadership tool. By understanding the perspectives of others, you can create solutions that bring people together. Second, unity requires effort. Lincoln didn't just talk about bringing people together, he worked tirelessly to make it happen, even when it seemed impossible. Lincoln's leadership principles are just as relevant today as they were during the Civil War. In a world that often feels divided, his ability to empathize, communicate, and focus on unity is a blueprint for modern leaders. Whether you're managing a team, resolving conflicts, or trying to bridge divides in your community, Lincoln's example can guide you. Lincoln's legacy extends far beyond his presidency. He's remembered not just as a leader who preserved the Union, but as someone who transformed the meaning of freedom and equality in America. His leadership reminds us that even in the face of great adversity, it's possible to inspire change and bring people together for a greater purpose. Abraham Lincoln showed us the power of empathy and unity in leadership, but what about leaders who used strategy and influence to achieve their goals? In the next section, we'll explore the story of Cleopatra, a leader who mastered the art of alliances and left a lasting mark on history. Stay tuned. Cleopatra, strategic alliances and the importance of intelligence. Let's move on to one of the most fascinating and complex leaders in history, Cleopatra. As the last active ruler of ancient Egypt, Cleopatra wasn't just a queen, she was a master strategist and influencer. Her ability to build alliances and use intelligence to secure power made her one of the most impactful figures of the ancient world. One of Cleopatra's defining leadership traits was her strategic use of alliances. She understood the importance of relationships and leveraged them to strengthen her position. Her alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony weren't just personal, they were political moves designed to protect Egypt's sovereignty and her own authority. Cleopatra wasn't just a beautiful queen, she was incredibly intelligent. She reportedly spoke multiple languages, understood complex politics, and was well versed in science, philosophy, and the arts. Her intelligence allowed her to negotiate with some of the most powerful leaders of her time and position herself as their equal. Cleopatra's reign was marked by constant threats, especially from Rome. Despite the challenges, she navigated these crises with a combination of diplomacy and strategy. For example, after aligning with Caesar and later Antony, she used their resources and influence to protect Egypt from Roman domination for as long as she could. Cleopatra also understood the power of charisma and influence. Historical accounts often highlight her ability to captivate and persuade others, from Roman leaders to her own people. Cleopatra's charisma wasn't just about charm, it was a tool she used to build alliances, inspire loyalty, and maintain power. So, what can Cleopatra teach us about leadership? First, relationships matter. Cleopatra's ability to form strategic alliances reminds us that leaders don't succeed alone, they build networks of support. Second, intelligence is key. By staying informed and educated, Cleopatra was able to adapt to changing circumstances and make smarter decisions. Cleopatra's principles are surprisingly relevant today. Whether you're managing a team, growing a business, or navigating personal challenges, her emphasis on networking, diplomacy, and education can guide you. For instance, think about how you can strengthen your relationships and use your knowledge to adapt to new opportunities. Cleopatra's legacy extends far beyond her reign. While her story is often overshadowed by her relationships with Caesar and Antony, she remains a symbol of intelligence, ambition, and resilience. Her ability to lead during a turbulent era is a testament to her extraordinary capabilities as a leader. In today's competitive and fast-changing world, Cleopatra's leadership reminds us of the importance of strategy, relationships, and adaptability. Her ability to influence powerful leaders and navigate crises offers valuable lessons for anyone striving to lead effectively in challenging times. Cleopatra taught us the importance of intelligence and strategic alliances, but leadership also requires resilience and determination during times of crisis. Up next, we'll explore Winston Churchill, a leader who rallied an entire nation during World War II and showed us the power of perseverance. Don't go anywhere. Winston Churchill, resilience and inspiring during crises. Now, let's talk about Winston Churchill, a leader who is often remembered as the face of resilience and determination during one of the world's most challenging periods, World War II. Churchill's ability to inspire hope and lead with unwavering courage made him a symbol of strength during a time of global crisis. Churchill's role as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during World War II highlighted his ability to lead in times of crisis. When Britain faced the threat of Nazi Germany, Churchill didn't just lead, he inspired an entire nation to stand strong, even when defeat seemed inevitable. His leadership wasn't just about strategy, it was about instilling hope and resolve in people. One of Churchill's greatest tools as a leader was his ability to communicate through powerful speeches. His words, like "we shall fight on the beaches and never was so much owed by so many to so few," rallied not just his country, but the entire Allied effort. These speeches weren't just words, they were a call to action, reminding people of their resilience and the importance of unity. Churchill's leadership was defined by his resilience. Even in the darkest moments, such as the Blitz, when London was bombed relentlessly, he never wavered in his determination. His ability to remain calm and focused under extreme pressure showed his people that they could endure anything together. While Churchill was known for his inspiring speeches, his strategic decision-making was equally critical. He formed strong alliances with leaders like Franklin D. Roosevelt and Joseph Stalin, which became the foundation of the Allied effort. Churchill understood that leadership isn't just about inspiring people, it's about making tough decisions and building partnerships that drive success. So, what can Winston Churchill teach us about leadership? First, resilience is key. Churchill's ability to stay strong in the face of adversity reminds us that leaders need to project confidence even in the toughest times. Second, communication matters. His speeches show us that great leaders inspire action by connecting with people on an emotional level. Churchill's principles are just as relevant today as they were during World War II. Whether you're leading a team through a challenging project, managing a crisis, or simply trying to motivate others, his focus on resilience and clear communication can serve as a guide. Leaders today can learn from his ability to remain calm under pressure and inspire unity in the face of challenges. Churchill remains a symbol of strength and determination. His leadership during World War II is a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, one person's vision and courage can inspire an entire nation. His legacy is a testament to the power of resilience, communication, and unwavering determination. In a world that's constantly changing and facing new challenges, Churchill's leadership reminds us of the importance of resilience, adaptability, and the ability to inspire others. Whether it's a global crisis or a personal challenge, his example proves that great leaders rise to the occasion and bring people together to overcome adversity. Winston Churchill taught us the power of resilience and inspiring others in times of crisis, but what about leaders who focused on forgiveness and reconciliation? In the next section, we'll explore Nelson Mandela, a leader who united a deeply divided nation and showed the world the transformative power of forgiveness. You won't want to miss it. Nelson Mandela, forgiveness and reconciliation. Finally, let's talk about Nelson Mandela, one of the most inspiring leaders of the 20th century. Mandela led South Africa out of apartheid, a brutal system of racial segregation, and into an era of democracy and equality. What made Mandela's leadership so remarkable was his focus on forgiveness and reconciliation, even after spending 27 years in prison. Mandela's journey as a leader began during South Africa's apartheid era, a time when racial discrimination was institutionalized. He became a symbol of resistance, advocating for equality and freedom for all South Africans. Even while imprisoned, Mandela's leadership continued to inspire millions, showing that true leaders don't need a position of power to create change. One of the most extraordinary aspects of Mandela's leadership was his decision to forgive those who had oppressed him. After spending 27 years in prison, Mandela chose not to seek revenge but instead to focus on reconciliation. This act of forgiveness not only helped heal a divided nation but also set an example for the world. As South Africa's first black president, Mandela established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to address the injustices of apartheid. Instead of focusing on punishment, this commission allowed victims and perpetrators to come forward, share their stories, and seek understanding. Mandela showed that true leadership is about creating spaces for healing and dialogue. Mandela's vision went beyond ending apartheid. He wanted to build a united South Africa where people of all races could live and work together peacefully. This vision required incredible patience and determination, as he worked to bring together groups that had been deeply divided for decades. His leadership reminds us that unity isn't just a goal, it's a process. So, what can we learn from Nelson Mandela? First, Forgiveness is a powerful tool for leadership. By choosing forgiveness, Mandela was able to bring people together and create lasting change. Second, leaders must prioritize reconciliation. Instead of focusing on blame, Mandela focused on building bridges and finding common ground. Mandela's principles are incredibly relevant today, whether you're resolving conflicts in your personal life, working in diverse teams, or leading an organization. His focus on forgiveness, dialogue, and unity reminds us that leadership is about serving others and creating an environment where everyone can thrive. Mandela's influence extended far beyond South Africa. He became a global symbol of peace and justice, inspiring movements for freedom and human rights around the world. His leadership shows us that even in the face of extreme adversity, one person's vision and courage can create a ripple effect that changes the world. In a world still grappling with division and injustice, Mandela's leadership reminds us of the power of forgiveness, dialogue, and reconciliation. His legacy shows us that even in the most challenging circumstances, leaders can inspire hope and create a path toward unity and justice. Nelson Mandela's leadership teaches us that forgiveness and reconciliation are essential for healing and progress. From his fight against apartheid to his vision for a united South Africa, Mandela showed us that true leadership is about bringing people together. And with that, we've explored 5 incredible leaders who changed the world. Now that we've explored the leadership journeys of Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Cleopatra, Winston Churchill, and Nelson Mandela, let's take a moment to reflect. Each of these leaders faced unique challenges, but their principles of leadership share some common themes that are timeless and universally applicable. From Gandhi, we learned the power of nonviolence and persistence. His unwavering dedication to his beliefs taught us that true leadership is about standing firm in your values, even when the odds are stacked against you. Gandhi's journey reminds us that change doesn't happen overnight, it requires patience and perseverance. Abraham Lincoln showed us the importance of empathy and unity. He demonstrated that great leaders take the time to understand different perspectives and work toward bringing people together, even during times of extreme division. His ability to lead with compassion reminds us that unity is essential for progress. Cleopatra taught us the value of intelligence and strategic alliances. Her ability to navigate complex political landscapes and form powerful relationships reminds us that leadership isn't just about power, it's about using strategy and influence to achieve your goals. She showed us that a leader's mind can be their greatest asset. Winston Churchill's leadership during World War II highlighted the importance of resilience and the ability to inspire others. Through his steadfast determination and powerful speeches, Churchill reminded us that leaders must remain strong and motivate their followers during even the darkest times. Finally, Nelson Mandela taught us the transformative power of forgiveness and reconciliation. Despite enduring decades of injustice, Mandela's focus on healing and unity helped a divided nation move forward. His leadership shows us that forgiveness can be a tool for building bridges and creating lasting peace. When we look at these 5 leaders, a few universal principles stand out. First, true leadership is about serving others. Each of these leaders prioritized the needs of their people over their own interests. Second, great leaders inspire action. Whether through words, actions, or strategy, they moved people to create change. The lessons from these leaders aren't just for history books, they're for all of us. Whether you're leading at work, in your community, or in your personal life, you can apply these principles. Stand firm in your values like Gandhi, use empathy like Lincoln, think strategically like Cleopatra, show resilience like Churchill, and practice forgiveness like Mandela. In today's fast-paced and often divided world, the principles of these leaders are more relevant than ever. They remind us that leadership is about more than power, it's about vision, resilience, and inspiring others to be their best. By learning from their journeys, we can become better leaders in our own lives. As we wrap up, I want to hear from you. Which leadership lesson from these historical figures resonated with you the most? Drop a comment below and let's continue the conversation. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who loves history and leadership as much as you do. Together, we can learn from the past to create a better future. As we come to the end of this journey through the lives of history's greatest leaders, let's take a moment to reflect. Gandhi, Lincoln, Cleopatra, Churchill, and Mandela each faced immense challenges, yet their leadership changed the course of history. Their stories remind us that no matter where we are or what we're facing, we all have the potential to lead and inspire. History has so much to teach us. These leaders didn't just react to their circumstances, they shaped them. Their ability to stay resilient, think strategically, and inspire others offers timeless lessons for leadership in any era. By learning from the past, we can equip ourselves to create a better future. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which leader's story resonated with you the most? Was it Gandhi's persistence, Lincoln's empathy, Cleopatra's strategy, Churchill's resilience, or Mandela's forgiveness? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'm excited to hear your thoughts and start a conversation with you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people who love history and leadership. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our future videos. We've got more inspiring content coming your way. Next week, we're diving into the habits of modern leaders and entrepreneurs who are changing the world today. From Elon Musk to Malala Yousafzai, we'll explore how their leadership styles are shaping the future. So, stay tuned and join us for more inspiring lessons. Thank you so much for watching what we can learn from historical leaders who changed the world. Remember, leadership isn't about titles or positions, it's about the impact you make and the people you inspire. Take the lessons from these great leaders and apply them in your own life. You never know, you might just change the world. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and keep making a difference.